Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Last week I put up a poll on my Instagram between two films, and this was coming off of my Grindhouse reviews with Death Proof and Planet Terror. So I thought it'd be interesting to put one up between From Dusk Till Dawn and another vampire film, 30 Days of Night. Between those two I thought be a good chance this would win, but 30 Days of Night won out. So today I will be reviewing 30 Days of Night. Okay, thank you for joining me again. And today we are going to be reviewing 30 Days of Night. Now this film came out in 2007. It was directed by David Slade and it was written by Steve Niles and based on his graphic novel of the same name. It stars Josh Hartnett, Melissa George, Danny Houston, Ben Foster, Mark Boone Jr. and many, many more. This is my copy here, as you can see playing in the background. It is the limited edition DVD version. The the DVD itself, nice sort of slipcover, 2 discs, tons of special features on this one. But the best part about it is this little hardcover case here, which comes with part of the graphic novel as well. So it's a bit of an excerpt from the graphic novel, which gives you a bit of insight into the story, which isn't contained in the movie. Really good read and fantastic part of this movie. So I'm going to throw it out now. As I always do, spoiler alert, we will be discussing the movie in depth and we will also be letting through a few spoilers. So, the plot involves the town of Barrow in Alaska. It's preparing to enter, like the movie's namesake, 30 Days of Night, when they're beset upon by a group of predatory vampires taking advantage of the endless night and the isolation. So what I like about this film, there's so much. I'm a huge fan of this movie. I think it's really well done. The pacing, the setting, everything. The feeling of isolation that you get, because some of the scenes that you see, it's just pure white, and you see this little town with little black buildings dotted with yellow lights. It does give a sense of isolation through the movie. As the days go on through those said 30 days of night, the feeling of hopelessness, it feels very bleak, and you feel for the characters because of the impending sense of doom and dread all throughout. But it's really well done and it really does make you feel for them. So got to give them props for that. And part of that not only comes from the writing, the directing, but the acting. It's fantastic. The vampires in this film, I do want to make a sparkly vampire joke here, but I won't. These vampires are just brutal. They're not your Count Dracula type. They're very animalistic. They're very brutal. They don't have little fangs. They've just all rows of sharp teeth, very shark-like almost. They're brutal. They're vicious. The design's really good. They have their own language as well, which you hear them talk throughout the film, and you can just get this sense of this massive backstory behind them. And they do go into that in the sequel, which we won't go into because I'm not a huge fan of that sequel. But yeah, really good design, really good characters in the vampires themselves. And the head vampire, Marlowe, he is played by Danny Houston, and that is amazing. Like, he does a phenomenal job. I can't say enough about it. I think he only speaks like about 3 English words in the whole movie, and the rest is in that vampire language. But it's just an amazing performance. Overall, outstanding. And the gore. A lot of practical effects were used in this, and they look brilliant. There's one scene in particular at the, I don't know, it's like a reclamation site, or it's got a big grinder in it where trash goes in and gets mulched up. And one of the characters, Billy, tackles a vampire and launches him into this thing, and blood spews everywhere, but he pulls his arm out and half of it's gone. And then Josh Hartnett's character, Eben, has to decapitate him because he's turning into a vampire because he's been infected when his blood got mixed with it. And it just, it's brutal, but the effects are so good. So that's all the pros. Now, I'm not going to touch on any of the cons because, to be honest with this film, they completely are obliterated by the pros of this film. Now, there are probably going to be a lot of people who disagree with me on this, which is fine. This is my opinion. I love this movie. I think it's really well done, and the source material is really good as well. And I do think it's, you know, it acknowledges that source material and stays with it quite well. Favorite scenes. Another one, and this is just a very small scene, where Evan has to kill one of the survivors, and this is just before day 27. It's between day 18 and day 27, who is starting to turn. So this guy's starting to turn. He's telling them, I can feel the need, and he takes him out and decapitates him. You don't see any of that, but when Evan walks back in, the look on the faces of his brother and this other lady there, just pure shock, and he just walks by with just this no emotion on his face. Really small scene, but so well done. The final fight between Evan and Marlowe. So at this point, it's getting to the end. So they're right at the end, day 29. You know, they've got a couple of hours left. The vampires start to destroy all evidence. So they're razing the town to the ground. So Evan has to do something drastic. He infects himself and goes to attack Marlowe. And that final fight is just brutal. It's like two alpha males, you know, sizing each other up and fighting each other for dominance of the pack. Like I said, these vampires are very animalistic, and you do get that feeling in this, you know, this young vampire taking on this old vampire for, you know, the control of the pack. That's what it felt like to me, and it was so well done. It's very brutal, like you feel the punches, just really good. Like I said, the pros of this film do outweigh the cons. There are a couple of cons. So overall, I'm going to give this movie 9 out of 10. It's one of my top favorite vampire films of all time. So thank you very much for sticking with me and watching this. I will put up another poll on my Instagram, so the handle will be down below. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, and hey, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Really do appreciate it a lot. So thank you very much. Have a great day.